It's Whoopi Goldberg.
When Whoopi Goldberg stepped into New York Fashion Week that evening, it wasn't just another celebrity appearance or a routine red carpet moment. It was one of those rare cultural pauses where the room shifts and everyone senses something unexpected has happened. At 69 years old, the legendary EGOT winner arrived looking noticeably different, and the reaction was immediate. Cameras flashed nonstop, conversations froze mid-sentence, and within minutes, images and short clips of her appearance were spreading across social media platforms faster than anyone could track. Some people gasped in admiration, others in confusion, and many simply stared, trying to reconcile the woman they thought they knew with the one standing confidently before them. It wasn't shock rooted in scandal or controversy, but rather in change. And in Hollywood, change in a woman's body is often treated as headline-worthy. A red carpet moment that became a cultural flashpoint. The moment Whoopi walked the red carpet at the Christian Siriano show, it became clear this was not just about fashion. Reactions rippled instantly, with praise and concern appearing side by side online. Admirers celebrated her presence, calling her radiant, strong, and energized, while others expressed worry, saying she appeared fragile or unfamiliar. The internet did what it always does, split itself cleanly down the middle. Within hours, opinion pieces, reaction videos, and commentary threads multiplied, each trying to define what her appearance meant. What should have been a glamorous evening of artistry and design transformed into a wider cultural conversation about aging, health, and the impossible standards placed on women in the public eye. Praise, concern, and the speed of judgment. What stood out most that night wasn't just the volume of reactions, but how quickly people felt entitled to decide what was best for her. Supporters applauded her confidence, saying she looked comfortable in her own skin and proud of her journey. Critics, however, questioned whether she had gone too far, whether such a change was safe, or whether it aligned with their expectations of how a woman her age should look. The conversation escalated rapidly, not because of anything Whoopi said or did, but because her body became a canvas onto which strangers projected their fears, values, and assumptions. In a matter of minutes, nuance disappeared, replaced by certainty from people who had never met her. Fashion became the easy target. As the discussion grew louder, attention shifted from her overall appearance to her clothing, a move that often happens when public debate turns personal. Some critics dismissed her outfit, describing it harshly and unfairly, as if her fashion choice somehow explained or justified their discomfort with her transformation. This critique wasn't really about fabric or design, it was about control. When society feels unsettled by a woman's autonomy over her body, fashion becomes a convenient distraction, a way to reassert judgment without addressing the deeper issue. What should have been recognized as personal expression was instead dissected as evidence in a trial she never agreed to participate in. The impossible standards. Women can never win. What made the reaction especially revealing was how familiar the pattern felt. For years, Whoopi Goldberg had been mocked for being too big, too different, too unwilling to conform. Now that she appeared smaller, the criticism simply flipped direction. Suddenly she was too thin, too changed, too unfamiliar. The contradiction exposed a hard truth. For women, especially older women, there is no winning position. Remaining the same invites ridicule, while changing invites suspicion. The issue was never her body. It was the expectation that she should manage it in a way that keeps everyone else comfortable. from embarrassment to determination. That moment did not send her into despair. Instead, it sparked reflection. Whoopi admitted feeling embarrassed and unsettled, but beneath that emotion was fear, not of judgment, but of consequences. At nearly 300 pounds, she understood the medical risks that accompany aging, including strain on the heart, joints, and overall mobility. The wake-up call wasn't about Hollywood or headlines, it was about survival. She wanted more time, more energy, and more control over her future. The long and uneven road to change transformation, however, did not happen overnight. Like many people, Whoopi faced setbacks, frustration, and cycles of progress followed by regression. She tried various approaches, adjusting her habits and routines while navigating the realities of a demanding career. Some attempts worked briefly, others didn't. The struggle was real, and it was ongoing. What made her journey different was her willingness to acknowledge that difficulty openly rather than presenting a polished success story, choosing honesty over perfection. Instead of hiding her challenges, Whoopi chose transparency. She spoke candidly about experimenting with different methods and needing medical guidance along the way. She never framed her experience as a shortcut or miracle, but as one option among many for managing health later in life. Her openness stood out in an industry where silence and vague explanations often dominate. Rather than claiming discipline alone, she acknowledged support systems, tools, and professional care. When honesty fuels even more debate. Ironically, her honesty intensified public discussion rather than calming it. Some applauded her for being real and responsible, while others questioned whether medical assistance should be part of weight loss conversations at all. The debate quickly expanded beyond Whoopi, turning into a larger argument about aging, health autonomy, and who gets to decide what is acceptable. The more she clarified her intentions, the more people tried to reshape her story to fit their own beliefs. Health versus appearance in the public eye. Throughout the noise, Whoopi remained consistent in her message. This was not about beauty standards or chasing youth. It was about health, strength, and time. She emphasized that her decisions were made with doctors, not audiences, and that no one else was entitled to dictate her priorities. In doing so, she highlighted a truth many avoid. Public figures are still private individuals when it comes to their bodies. Fashion Week revisited with context. By the time she appeared at Fashion Week, the transformation was already complete, but the understanding was not. People saw the result without seeing the years of internal debate, emotional processing, and careful decision-making that preceded it. The disconnect between perception and reality fueled misunderstanding. What looked sudden to the public was anything but sudden to her, turning criticism into quiet strength. Despite the backlash, Whoopi never retreated. She continued hosting The View, engaging in conversations that shape public discourse, mentoring younger creatives, and pursuing projects with the same authenticity she always had. Her presence remained steady, her humor intact, and her confidence unshaken. She did not allow external judgment to rewrite her self-worth. A reflection of how society treats aging women. In many ways, the controversy surrounding Whoopi became less about her and more about society itself. Her experience exposed how uncomfortable people are with women aging visibly, changing physically, or prioritizing themselves without apology. It revealed how quickly admiration turns into scrutiny when control is lost. Redefining strength on her own terms. Whoopi Goldberg has never fit neatly into Hollywood's expectations, and she has no intention of starting now. Her strength has always come from authenticity, not approval. By choosing her health and speaking honestly about the journey, she reframed transformation as empowerment rather than spectacle. What comes next for Whoopi Goldberg? At an age when many expect slowing down, Whoopi shows no signs of retreat. She continues to work, speak, laugh, and create with the same sharp insight that built her legacy. Her story is no longer about weight, it's about choice, resilience, and ownership, a legacy that goes beyond appearance. In the end, Whoopi Goldberg's journey reminds us that bodies change, but purpose endures. Her transformation is not a headline, it is a chapter in a life defined by courage, creativity, and truth. And while opinions will always exist, she keeps moving forward exactly as she always has, on her own terms.